living this idyllic existence within their mother's body. The verse says, who could give me like those months that I spent in my mother's body? In this idyllic, perfect existence, learning all of the Torah, knowing everything, cosmic wisdom, and suddenly after months of this experience, these tremors begin and the one child is thrust out into the world. The remaining twin begins to mourn for what will certainly be a death. Little does he know that's where life only begins. Let me put it to you like this. When a woman gives birth, the Rambam, I'm quoting here the Rambam quoting the Gemara. The Rambam, as you all know, was a doctor as well. The Rambam says when a woman gives birth, it looks clearly like two people are dying. Clearly. I'm speaking to the gentleman, if I may, for a moment. Imagine you wandering the corridors of your local hospital looking for the accounts department. When you accidentally take a wrong turn and you step into the labor ward, and you watch a woman giving birth up close, you'd probably call the police. And if you had to go through that yourself, I guarantee you'd need therapy you'd need PTSD therapy for the rest of your life. There's no question about that. But it's nothing compared to what the baby goes through. The child goes through a transition that's impossible. The child in the womb has no hope of surviving outside the womb. He has holes in his heart with the blood flowing in the wrong direction. He has a big blood vessel taking all the blood away from the lungs instead of towards it. He's got no lungs. They're little scrunched up bits of tissue. He's got blood vessels coming out through his liver. He's got the wrong sort of blood. The baby in the womb has 20 conditions that keep him alive that spell death within 2 minutes. And you have 20 conditions in your body that keep you alive that if you gave him to the fetus, you'd kill him. You're not talking about changing phase from one phase to another. You're talking about guaranteed death to life. He has a dozen conditions in his body that spell death within 2 minutes. And what happens? And I've delivered dozens of babies. You hold this newborn child in your hands. He goes blue. Then he goes purple. He makes these terrible gasping movements. He's bleeding like crazy through the umbilical. And suddenly as you stand there, the cord clamps down like a cable of steel and stops the bleeding. The holes in the heart close, the blood reverses direction. The blood vessel from the lungs clamps down, the blood hits the lungs. At the same moment he takes his first breath, the lungs pop open, and 3 minutes later, it's all inverted and he's doing fine. That must have taken a lot of orangutans in the trees during evolution to get right by accident. There must have been a lot of chimpanzees that didn't make it. And if you speak to a doctor who understands this, the cascade of chemical phenomena, the biochemistry involved in that. Do you know what? You're talking about holes in, you're talking about a major blood vessel closing down within seconds. You know the biochemical complexities to get that blood vessel is sensitive to oxygen levels in the blood, exquisite sensitivity. You're talking about a cascade of transitional elements that happen within this is beyond, and that, my friends, is very funny because you have a situation where the child goes through a transition in which death couldn't be more guaranteed, and amazingly, it turns around. The Gemara talks about this phenomenon, and I'll share with you one line in the Gemara which is beyond astounding.